Hello guys, welcome again to another episode of Pinoy in Australia. Today, let's talk about purchasing a second-hand vehicle. So, what should we do if we purchase a second-hand vehicle? I would like to share an experience to you. Last week, one of my friend brought his vehicle to me, and he asked me to change the transmission oil during that day. So the history of that vehicle is he bought the vehicle to a person, not to a second hand dealership car shop. So he bought this vehicle to an individual person. So what is the risk of purchasing second-hand vehicle on a person? First thing is, usually when you bought the second-hand vehicle to a person, there will be no warranty. Unlike on those some kind of second-hand car dealership, they will give you some kind of warranty, or really a warranty, because when I purchased my other vehicle before, they gave me 1 year warranty on that vehicle, and that's including to the deal. And unfortunately, this friend of mine, when he brought the vehicle to my place, when I checked the glove compartment looking for the history of the maintenance, there was no record. So the first thing I told him is, let's do the service first, and then from there I will check the entire vehicle and I will tell you what we need to do based on the defect that I will found. So in short, after doing the service, maintenance and full inspection on the vehicle, I just found out that the power steering oil needs replacing, air conditioning is not cooling. So there was a leak on the air conditioning system. So this is Hyundai Gets. I made a video of this vehicle previously, and you can check that one on my YouTube channel. So I recommended to the customer to replace the power steering fluid, and there's a leak in the evaporate and the aircon system in the high pressure hoses. And I also recommended to him that we should check the transmission oil, because there was no record on the glove compartment, no documents. So we scheduled it. Last week he brought the vehicle to me, and I was surprised when I checked the transmission oil. There is no oil inside the transmission. There's around maybe 4 to 5 spoon of oil. Maybe that's around 50 to 100 ml of oil. So I have managed to put 2.5 liters of oil on the transmission. So too lucky that the vehicle was not driven to the motorway in a long travel, because for sure it will damage the gearbox. So what is the lesson we should learn on this story? So the first thing we should do when we bought a second-hand vehicle, we should bring the vehicle to your mechanic or to your nearest automotive shop and made a full inspection on the vehicle, especially if there is no record of the previous service of the vehicle. So let's check all the fluids, and the most important is, if there is no record, just change all the fluids. For example, power steering fluid, uh, brake fluid, clutch fluid, transmission oil, differential oil, engine oil, coolant. Because sometimes coolant, when you check it in the top, they're like brand new. But once you drain it in the bottom, you can see there are lots of impurities there. Some rust, some dirt, and even though that the cooling system coolant is look like very good, but we cannot see. The problem is we cannot see the one in the bottom of the radiator unless we drain it. So luckily we have managed to put new oil on that thing, and we drive test the vehicle, and unfortunately that the third gear of that gearbox is popping out of the gear. Because when I do the first service, I suggested to the owner to replace the transmission oil, because I told him there is no history. We don't know whether there is enough oil there, or there is whether the quality of the oil is still in good condition. So I recommend replacing the transmission oil. And the person who's driving the vehicle told me, yeah, I feel that there is something wrong with the gearbox, and the gearbox is jumping out of gear. So he said that sometimes there is difficulty in shifting the gear. So I drive test the vehicle, and the first drive test is hard to show the defect. The defect is not showing up. But when I drive tested the vehicle, maybe around more than 30 minutes, that's the time the problem show up. On the third gear, the vehicle, and in the third gear, the shifting lever is popping out. So there is a video there that I made during the servicing of the transmission. I haven't recorded the replacement of the transmission oil, guys, because the memory of the camera is full, so there's no space for me. There is no space on my camera to record the video. So watch this video, guys, so you can learn something when buying a second-hand car. Okay guys, at this point I'm using different pump, because the pump that I used earlier is spilling lots of oil. So the reason it spill out some oil is because the delivery pipe of the pump has the same diameter of the pillar plug hole. So the pillar hole for the transmission have the same diameter with my pump hose. So I'm losing heaps of oil during transferring the new oil to the transmission. So I have managed to put 2.5 liters of oil. Okay guys, after putting new oil on the transmission, I rode this vehicle. Unfortunately, putting oil on that transmission on the right level and with new oil, it didn't make any change. So it means there is internal problem in the gearbox. So possibly it is the synchronizer that fails. So it's still jumping out of gear on third gear. So I'm sharing this information to you guys, so you will not experience this kind of dilemma, because the customer purchased the vehicle for $3,000, and if you're going to make the vehicle properly fixed, you will spend maybe somewhere in $3,000 just for the repair of the gearbox. Because maybe the cost of the brand new gearbox on the vehicle maybe cost around $3,000, and plus labor. And there is some option, maybe buying second-hand gearbox, but buying second gearbox will not guarantee you that it will fix the problem, because you don't know whether the gearbox that you are going to buy in the surplus area, it doesn't have any problem too. So my advice to the customer is you better sell that vehicle, or dispose of vehicle. What he told me is he want to trade in the vehicle, and he's going to get a new second-hand vehicle with much better quality. I told him this time you are unlucky, and he told me that he purchased the vehicle because the mileage is not too big. But I told him mileage doesn't guarantee you that the vehicle doesn't have any problem, because even the vehicle have a small mileage or kilometer reading, if the first owner of the vehicle didn't maintain the vehicle properly, the vehicle will not last long. And I told him we are not also sure whether the instrument panel mounted on the vehicle is not tampered, because some of the person selling their own car, they tampered the speedometer, so the mileage of the vehicle, so they can sell the vehicle in much bigger price. So unfortunately to this guys, to this person that purchased the Hyundai Gets, it's too late to realize his mistake. So guys, my advice to you, if you're going to buy a vehicle, the first thing that you need to check is the quality and the level of the oil. Open the pillar cap of the oil pillar to see whether there's a sign of discoloration of the oil. So if there's a discoloration of oil, like the cap is like have a milky color in the oil, it means there is a mix up of water in the oil. So that's not good. Could we have a problem with the cylinder head gasket? You also need to check the radiator. Open the cap, check for any sign of mixture of oil or any contamination, because there are some cases that the oil and coolant mix up together because the oil cooler failed. So that's another thing that you need to look on the vehicle if you're going to purchase second hand. And try to start the vehicle, check the quality of the smoke coming out from the tailpipe, Usually, if there's a failure in the piston ring, you will smell burn oil in the exhaust gas. And if possible for you to road test the vehicle, just road test the vehicle for 30 minutes and drive it in different condition, high speed, motorway, or in the intersection. So you will find out whether there's some problem in the gearbox. So in this vehicle, particular vehicle, when I first road test it, I didn't feel the problem. But when I road test it for more than 30 minutes, that's the problem came out. It's jumping out of third gear. So guys, when purchasing second-hand vehicle, be very vigilant. Check everything. As much as possible, bring a mechanic with you. Let him check the vehicle first before you purchase it. Check the suspension, check the brakes, road test the vehicle so you will feel any irregularities in the vehicle. Don't purchase it. But if you purchase vehicle in the second-hand vehicle dealer, some of them are not yet registered, and in that condition you cannot road test the vehicle. And if there's a problem with the gearbox, or if the vehicle is overheating, very critical to buy on that kind of area. So if you're going to buy on the second-hand dealership vehicle shop, better bring mechanic with you, because I have experience too that I have accompanied my friend to buy a second-hand car in a second-hand dealership vehicle, second-hand car dealership. He want to purchase this vehicle. The body is very good. It looked like brand new, but when we started, the engine have problem. So it looked like the engine have a problem with the piston ring. So the smoke is very bad. It's very black, and this person want to purchase the vehicle, and I told him, don't buy that vehicle because there is a problem with the engine. It will cost you a fortune to repair the engine of the vehicle. So it's very lucky that I was there when he bought when he's searching for a second-hand vehicle. Because during the time that guy just arrived here in Australia, and he need a vehicle to use to go to work and do some kind of shopping. He asked me to whether I can accompany him to check the vehicle that he want to buy. Okay guys, I hope in this video you learned something. Let me clarify to you. During purchasing second-hand vehicle, check the oil level, check the quality of the oil, open the cap of the oil filler, check for any sign of discoloration. If discoloration in the oil, it means it has a problem with the cylinder head. It could be a cylinder head gasket, or there might be a crack somewhere in the block on the head. So discoloration means that engine oil means that some coolant mixed up with the engine oil. Also open the radiator, open the cap, check for the oil level. If the check for the coolant level. If the coolant level is down, it means there's a leak. Check for any contamination in the coolant, like oil mixture in the coolant. If there's a mixture of oil in the cooling system, it means there's a problem with the oil cooler. Go underneath, check any crack in the bushing, in the suspension, and if possible, if the vehicle can be road test the vehicles, guys. So it will uh, save you some money for the repair of the vehicle, and for buying a second-hand vehicle with lots of problems is like a dilemma, guys. Sometimes the repair of the problem of the second-hand vehicle will cost you a fortune. So guys, up to here only. I hope you learned something on this video. Okay, see you in the next video. Ciao. Okay guys, if you like this kind of video and you're new to our channel, please press the like button, please press the subscribe button, please press the notification bell so you will be notified every time I do a video. So guys, see you in the next video, and if you haven't checked my previous video, just press the logo icon of my channel and all the previous video will be shown out on your screen, and you will have access to all video that I made. Okay guys, see you on the future video. Ciao.